Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. If you are new here, my name is Courtney. And in this video, I have the pleasure of taking care of this client's hair. As you guys can see, she has about 50% gray. And so she is definitely a true salt and pepper. Most gray hair will naturally have a yellow tint or even look dull sometimes. But in this video, I'm going to show you how a purple shampoo will neutralize those tones and brighten your gray or silver hair. Is it just me, or the way someone's hair grays throughout is absolutely beautiful and unique? The fact that her gray hair is mostly distributed evenly throughout her entire head from the root to the end, it's making me feel like she's one of God's favorite. I mean, it's giving, you're sitting on the side of him, his hand is upon you, and he is your friend. Okay, so I am starting off with this purple shampoo. As you guys can see, it is by Joico. This shampoo is super easy to access, and I will leave all the products that I'm using in the description. I didn't show every shampoo that I use just because I forgot. But if you're interested, I will definitely leave it down below. Now, I really love this leave-in conditioner. Y'all know I always use It's a 10 or something like that. I always use a leave-in conditioner because it really does help to detangle. And because this leave-in conditioner is very lightweight and it is not super heavy, I can do my thing with it and use as much as I need to. This leave-in conditioner does help with the detangling process. And as you guys know, this process can be very tedious if you are not using the right products. It can be painful for my clients who are on the tender side, honey, because we all have some little tender spots. As you guys can see already, I have started to section her hair and detangle from the roots to ends. Sometimes after having a protective style, you may encounter more tangling and shedding, which is totally normal since we shed about 100 hairs a day. So that doesn't really feel like it's a lot, but as you're walking, you're changing clothes, you're combing down your wrap, you might not notice that you're shedding that much, or even it may be on your bathroom floor. It may not seem like it's a lot because it's spread out throughout, you know, your activities in your car and things like that. So with your hair being, you know, excuse the noise in the background, y'all, I'm sitting outside. When your hair is under a protective style, you are not having the chance to comb out all that shedded hair. So if you are the type who likes to use protective styles, please be sure to comb out your hair and section and make sure that you are detangling properly before shampooing your hair, because honey, also not pulling and tugging on her hair and, you know, putting her hair at risk from any type of breakage. As you guys can see, me using this blow dryer and the Denman brush is just sliding all the way through from the roots to the ends, and I'm just giving her hair some tension and pulling it in the opposite way just so that I can get her blow dry as straight as possible. So when I go in with the heat, I don't have to use such aggressive heat. This leads me back to a time when I was super young, just starting off in my career. I was working under another cosmetologist as her assistant, and she would allow me to do hair on the side and stuff. So this one particular client, she was a twin and she was referred by my sister. And I did the first twin's hair, and when I tell y'all, her hair was so cute. And I've been super blessed to where people will see somebody's hair and then of course, oh, who did your hair? So I got another referral, which was her twin sister, right? So she came into the salon, and this is not funny. This is not a funny story at all. This was very traumatic, and I definitely had to heal from this. But the second twin comes in, right? And she comes into the salon, and I noticed this was like way back in the day when, you know, the really tiny cornrows were in. I think it's back now. The style is back in stock, like it's back on trend now. but this was before now, like way a long time ago. And they were like not the feed-in braids, but like, what is it? Just like the regular cornrows with the knot. Y'all remember? Super tiny braids. It was like 100 of them. So she came in with her braids. So we had to take down her braids. And it took me so long to take down her braids, y'all. After I took out her braids, we went straight to the shampoo bowl. I mean, I was so ready to get her to the shampoo bowl because I had spent so much time taking down the thousands of braids that she had in her hair. So I instantly started shampooing her hair, and I'm like, okay, I'm not really feeling any scalp, it's feeling a little weird. So I go in with a very moisturizing, detangling shampoo. That's not really working. And so I take her up from the shampoo bowl, and I noticed that her hair is super tangled. Well, at this time, I just put conditioner in it and I let her sit because I'm thinking, of course, it's going to be tangled. Y'all, when I tell you, oh my gosh, the horror when I sat her down in my chair and saw that her hair had locked. I mean, it was I'm not talking about your regular tangling that you get from sleeping on your hair. This was something so different. This was something absolutely different. And I was mortified. I had no clue what I did in between taking her braids down and shampooing her that caused her to mat and lock up so badly. I spent the next 6 hours detangling her hair. Looking back now, like, I know I was put in that situation to absolutely learn from, because that's been well over like 12 years, maybe even 15 years ago. And I still remember that story and the way that I felt just combing her hair out. So I had to tell y'all that story because it's so important not to skip out on the detangling process, okay? Because that is the absolute way that you find yourself getting frustrated and just kind of like ripping at your hair. So that's why I like to take sections. This helps me to have total control over my client's hair, and I'm able to work. And as you guys can see, it's coming along great. The thing with the blow drying process is that you have to work quickly. Just like with the flat iron, you are dealing with heat, so you never want to just hold the heat over one spot for too long, because that will put you in a position where you can definitely get heat damage. I'm never going to put heat on my hair without heat protectant, so I definitely would not do that to my client's hair. And if you guys see me going back and forth between these two flat irons, then you will understand, because the Babyliss, to me, in my opinion, it's good for some things. It's good for some type of styles and some hair textures, but it's just not hitting. It can't even compare to the Paul Mitchell, in my opinion. And this is the extra large Paul Mitchell that I'm using, and they both are titanium, and I can definitely see a difference when it comes to the quality of the flat irons. Like, some people you can't really tell, but in some clients I can tell. And so far I'm going with the Paul Mitchell, the Neuro Smooth flat iron. I just like this flat iron a lot, okay? I don't know why. I've seen a lot of people have bad experiences with this flat iron, especially using it when you are silk pressing, because they are saying that they can't get close to the root with such a big flat iron. I don't know what it is. I prefer a bigger flat iron because it doesn't hurt my wrist and my joints. But as you guys can see, the slices that I'm taking to flat iron are so thin. So it usually takes me a little bit longer to silk press someone's hair than a regular silk press, because I like to take very thin sections and I just take my time, because I want it to come out nice and I want her roots to be as straight as possible. So we were having a salon talk per usual, and someone asked me how often should I be getting silk press in order to keep my hair healthy. And I feel like I made a video expressing my opinion, and clearly no one watched. Clearly, okay? But I feel like I share a lot of gems on my channel regarding hair care, tips on healthy hair and products. And so if you are curious and you like these type of videos, you like to discover new products and things like that, go right ahead and beat me there. Okay, tap that subscribe button, because I would love for you to join in on this salon chit chat. It wouldn't even be right for you not to add your 2 cents on the topics at hand, especially this one. So my opinion on how often you should get a silk press: being able to come out of a protective style and actually wear your hair is a flex by itself. I don't care what anybody says, because I know nowadays a lot of hairstylists and just people in general like the styling part of doing hair. The styling portion of being a hairstylist is really important, and it's also really fun. It's probably my favorite part. But I also love the part of actually taking care of my client's hair. Just the basics. Every time you get a silk press, you should definitely be adding on a deep conditioner, a steam treatment, or something like that that will actually add to your hair and allow your hair to be healthier. If you are constantly wearing extensions, I'm just speaking in general for anyone, if you always wear extensions and then when it's time to take your extensions out and your hair is broken off, or you know, your edges are thinning, it makes you feel negatively about your hair. So you are more likely to get more extensions instead of wearing your natural hair. It's not for you to rely so heavily upon, like and I'm guilty of it too, okay, because it's very easy. But it's just for you to take care of your hair underneath also while you are getting these protective styles, so that when you want to take a break from the protective styles, you can feel really confident in wearing your hair, because you've been taking care of it, you've been getting a deep condition, your stylist has been trimming your hair, so you up to date on your trims, so it's at its fullest potential. So you feel confident with wearing your hair, and that is a flex, okay? Just being confident in your natural hair and just wearing your natural hair, being able to switch out of the protective styles is very important, okay? So I am just going over my client and just letting her know that she needs a trim. How much can I trim? Because I always like to ask my clients, how much can I trim before I actually go in and do that? This client stays up to date on her trims. I never have to take off a whole bunch. So we are doing about a 1/2 inch, and yes, I still cut like I'm in beauty school, but it still works, and that is how I do it, okay? Do not laugh at me. I'm not on the trend of cutting straight across just yet, but I like that everyone has their own style, because that's what makes us different as hairstylists. And when you find a hairstylist that you really love how she does certain things, her vibe is great, you guys get along, you can communicate very well. Like if there's an issue, you aren't afraid to speak up or bring it to her attention. So finding that in a hairstylist is such a blessing. And I don't know if I said this before, I'm praying that for everyone who is seeking that, because having a good hairstylist will bless your life, okay? Very glossy, and this is going to be very beautiful. I loved how it turned out. It has so much body, and her gray is just sparkling. It looks silver now. I feel like it was silver before. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please be sure to like this video or leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.